Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has played it safe. What are the big takeaways? We have with us our Editor-In-Chief, Sanjay Pugalia, here in the studio. Mr. Pugalia, really appreciate your time. And let me begin by asking you, according to you, what are the big takeaways? It's a budget before ballot. So that is the big point here.
So on our Hindi channel, I just said कि now there are only 4 जात और 400 सीटों की बात.
Okay.
4 जात है और 400 सीटों की बात है. So what are those 4 castes? And that is the new political discourse and narrative that this budget consolidates. It was said earlier. Kisan, Mahila, Yuva, Garib. These are 4 pillars on which the entire welfare direct benefit transfer schemes are being built, because with growth and development on the major economy, macroeconomy side, what you need is to support the needy classes and categories, and that also catapults and results into job creation and overall development. Everyone becomes part of it. So this budget pronounces that in a more amplified manner. It gives you a complete picture how the next 5 years will be propelled with higher growth. 7% growth target can be achieved with all these foundational work being implemented with speed. The kind of speed this budget promises will be actually mind-boggling. So you may not find any fresh headline, but this budget actually deals with the brass tacks of the requirement on both front. How to manage the economy, how to manage the politics, how to manage the election. That is why I am saying 4 castes equal to 400 seats.
Okay, so you have given up the big number, certainly, and that will be the headline, that 4 castes that Prime Minister Modi first spoke about after the assembly elections victory is the lexicon which has come also in the budget.
Exactly.
So would you say now that besides giving a new election lexicon, the government under Prime Minister Modi and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has come up with a budget lexicon?
Exactly. And what is the more important and the core part of this budget announcement? Shortest speech ever, but absolutely ambitious plan for infrastructure development that results into jobs, that results into higher manufacturing activity. And at the bottom of pyramid also, when she talks about solar energy, that creates another kind of serious economic activity across the country. So she is working on various pillars of the economy, which actually does only one job, which is how to push country's growth rate around 7% and maybe more.
And so, you know, the point certainly is this is Disha Nirdeshak budget, showing the direction kind of a budget. Then do we really have a picture clear of the next 5 years then?
I think those who are busy with the economic activity, it is very clear to them that Mr. Modi is working on a plan which is basically driven by serious capital expenditure to now make India an attractive manufacturing center, because all the issues of logistics, cost of business, cost of money are being addressed by various means and ways. And looking at the global situation, this is very important to see budget in that context. China Plus is a reality that other international players are looking for manufacturing bases where you can be cost effective and more efficient. Europe has its own problem. America has its own battle. So suddenly India has become a very, very interesting sweet spot to do business. Our engagement with Middle East is another engine that is driving the big ambitious growth plan for India. Everything coming together, India actually comes at a level where every other investor will be now seriously interested. Earlier we used to hear India has a great potential, we are very interested. Are you putting money in India or not? That should happen now with this kind of budget promise. If you ask me about my crib, I have 3 cribs. There was an opportunity. This government has all political capital that a most powerful government ever imagines. So what are these 3 things? Land, labor, privatization. These are contentious issues. To me, it is so-called contentious issues. There is a full public support for all these big transformational moves. But the way Mr. Modi does politics, it is not the most critical thing to do, because silent work is already on. I will reach there without pronouncing it. How will I reach there? Because I am creating serious infrastructure for economic development, which will create jobs and which will finally result into a higher growth and higher poverty reduction. And look, last 10 years, 23 crore people being lifted out of poverty is a serious number. We need to understand the implication of these numbers.
But the opposition also says that the free ration is being given to 80 crore people. So is this lopsided or unequal development?
Till I come to that level where economic activity can support and opportunities can be created, not supporting vulnerable class is not an option. This is a debate, very valid debate, that if I am supporting such a large population with my free ration, to what extent, to what end date, to what end result, it is an issue. But we have to tackle, it is not either or, we have to do both. I would say there was a plan, not that there was no plan, but such a massive universal basic income scheme which was a fad in Western democracies that go for UBI and all that. What he has done, I will not go universal, I will go targeted for communities, for most vulnerable people, and that is required. It also results in a sort of little long range job creation, not that it will not result in job creation, because solar, you can say it is a DBT or a welfare scheme because it is a popular scheme, people will have something on their hut. No, it is not that. It will actually create jobs across the country. So I think free ration, the period has been extended.
That's right.
It will take some more time, but gradually the balance will come, because economic activity will pick up. And at what pace? You are a large economy and you are the fastest growing in the world. 7% may not be enough for an equal prosperous society like India, but 7% is a great number to have.
You would have seen several budgets in the past, and budgets which are interim budgets, vote on account, keeping in mind the elections. How would you rate this one in comparison to the past?
This budget promises one thing, that we will accelerate our speed in what we are doing and we will expand our activities and ideas. This budget has many ideas which may not be sounding like headlines, but they are very important pieces. For example, 3 railway corridor. Now we think railway corridor is a routine game. It is not. It is a very big plan. Connecting mining areas and ports and energy producing areas with ports and rail and other corridors is a major requirement for the country. With all this, you will see a new kind of urbanization. What is another new thing? First he built Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana mein baki logon ka ghar. Now the focus is on affordable housing for lower middle class and middle class, which is a very important requirement. What part of inflation is bothering us in the cities? It is housing, transport, rent or transport. Basically these two things. And this is a pain point. Maybe somebody did not raise the issue, but this government is politically very sensitive and very responsive. So now this is appealing to middle class in a different way, new middle class in a different way, without giving you relaxation in tax slab, which in mainstream media we have the habit of ki tax ka bada benefit mil gaya. So this government doesn't work like that.
Okay, so your last word, as you look at perhaps June, July, what do you think will happen then?
June, July budget will be certainly very emphatic, decisive and audacious, because then a finance minister will get into the specific commitment. This was a budget of intention. Earlier we used to say vote and account hai, isme to kuch nahi hoga. And then it was called interim budget. But if you recall, 2019 budget, interim budget speech had equally big announcements. So that is what she has done this time. She has given you a roadmap with very precise numbers, that this is the number we are trying to achieve. This is the money we are spending on capital expenditure on welfare schemes. So this sets the tone and the foundation for a very sustainable, steady course for our growth. That is the biggest requirement of the country, because economic activity have to come to a situation where every 100 switch they work together.
The whole
that is what is going to happen after this interim budget, and as is the commentary that this same government will be back. So July budget will be much more audacious according to me.
Okay, so
And I hope privatization, land, labor are addressed.
Okay, so your concern points are addressed, but the headline that you have given us is "Char Jaat 400 की बात."
ये उनके मन की बात.
उनकी मन की बात है. All right. Sanjay Pugalia, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.